The legend of Smida is back, as the trio takes over dozens of gangs in just a few days, threatening to take over the Korean underworld. This made the boss of the Korean snake gang feel a chill, so he hurriedly rounded up his little minions. Subtitles. He intended to launch a stealthy operation under the cover of night, but Adan, who appeared delicate, actually delivered quite a fierce blow. His attack was truly full of menace right from the start. Adan's dominance seemed straight from a bloody and stunning snake gang's thugs. After dealing with the leader, he went to karaoke with two pals. Subtitles. They even specifically ordered several young ladies, and things got extremely wild. Soon, the screams of these girls swiftly drew in a group of beer warriors. Hearing the chaos, Yentai couldn't help but chuckle. After all, they're on the streets. Who would dare mess with them? Subtitles. Naturally, the very next second after that, Adan commenced his violent show, leaving everyone with a sense of abruptness. Little did he know, the ashtray was just a warm-up, and soon he found himself body slammed onto the table by two of Adan's henchmen talk about a private party. The alleyway of Gangland and Seoul turned into a new gangster hub, more chaotic than Kowloon walled city, yet weirdly enough, no one had lost fingers yet. Speaking of tough guys, there's a muscle-bound dude named Modongsi who never plays nice, casually breaking wrists just by strolling. One guy was in a street fight, boasting he'd take the other down, and just like that, the atmosphere flipped. What started as a fair showdown quickly turned into a nervous standoff, especially since this alleyway was no nursery. Facing each other was a real beast. With mass rain on the streets, even the notorious gangs found it tough to have fun. Bedridden troublemakers just had to bow out. The alley had its touch of chaos. The gangs maintained order until Adan showed up and stirred everything into a frenzy. After Adan dealt with the opposition, he quickly led his crew away, leaving behind utter chaos. Surveillance captured their faces, but the image was too blurry to identify, and fingerprints didn't match. Moss suspected they were illegal immigrants, so he started gathering info. By the way, let's acknowledge those lonely guys streaming dramas for a GF. Check out some dating apps, and you're bound to find tons of gorgeous and sweet ladies, never a dull moment. Little did he know, Adan's blade-making skills were making a name for him, as he aggressively took charge of the snake gang. The errand boy, Sungwoo, was the only survivor that night, but how long could he last depended on Adan's whim. Adan's interest in Electric City was growing, so he tossed a bag nearby. The bag held freshly severed limbs from at least a few victims. Ma immediately sensed trouble brewing and started digging for clues. Soon enough, they found a blood-soaked suitcase in a dumpster. Inside were piles of dismembered body parts. After the forensic team pieced things together, they found the bodies came from Electric City, leaving the young minion in shock. To everyone's surprise, the body belonged to the boss of the snake gang. Based on the cuts found on the corpse, the coroner detected something suspicious, causing the whole street to be on edge. The leader of the snake gang was the notorious crime boss of this area. The only one feeling the pain was Ma, as this tough guy was shockingly dismembered, and now that's terrifying. The culprit was clearly a brute, ruthlessly dumping the snake boss body, grinning sinisterly as he headed to Electric City. When the trio arrived, they quickly divided roles. Adan was on snacks duty, while Baldy wielded the chair, clearly here just to wreak havoc. The guests fled in terror, and the manager immediately sensed something was off and rushed to find out what was happening. Quickly alerted Old Deng, who arrived with 230 subordinates, but found himself intercepted at the door by Sungwoo. Sungwoo told him Adan wanted to meet alone, and that made Old Deng quite unhappy. Electric City was his turf. So Old Deng charged in solo, curious to see who was so bold. Before he could say a word, Adan wasted no time taking charge. Just as Old Deng began to speak, he heard scuffles behind him, and to his shock, his 230 subordinates were flooring under Adan's minions. "Don't play tough here," turned into a harsh truth. A million curses against Adan filled Old Deng's mind, but he left quiet. With the situation brewing, even a little fart could land him in hot water. While Adan thrived in Electric City, he still extorted pricey protection fees from every merchant. Charging $1 million monthly was blood-sucking. A broke uncle begged for days' grace, but Baldy drew a knife at once. Under the threat of death, they got their protection fee, and Adan casually handed Sunwoo a few grand. Adan told him to take it to the nightclub, but little did he know, the moment Sunwoo left, Adan started entertaining his girlfriend, leaving her startled. She swiftly refused, not realizing she might be trading her safety for pride. She locked the door, fearing Adan's notice. Sunwoo, outside, saw it all. He didn't dare rush in to save her and ended up pouring all his pent-up frustration onto her instead. He even issued her a decree, no more going out. Just then, there was a knock at the door, perfect timing for an angry Sunwoo looking for an outlet. He flung the door open, but Tan accidentally bumped into the frame. What a wake-up call. This accidental act led to none other than Long Hu Gangshan Yeshua showing up. Jan privately vied with the snake boss for business. Now he reigned supreme. But Jan knew well that the crew who took out the snake boss would come for him next. He wasn't about to let his guard down.